Hi, my name is Karenobrienre, and this is Boston in the Burbs. I am a real estate broker in the Boston area. Today we're going to talk about all those drama queens. I just went on YouTube and I Googled Boston real estate or Boston area real estate, and it was like, Boston prices are too high, it's too expensive, you can't live there anymore. The market's gonna crash. All these naysayers, drama queens, it's like, you don't need that in your life. So today I'm gonna talk about the real truth according to Karenobrienre, real estate broker. And hopefully it will encourage you. Be right back. Philosophy is, if you really want to buy property, especially for first-time buyers, you need to do about 5 things. First of all, you block out those naysayers, because I firmly believe if you are positive, you figure out a way to do it and focused, don't let anyone bring you down, because you will get your property. It may not be perfect, but it will be perfect for you, especially for a starter. So number 1, be focused. If you want to buy a house, the market's crazy. It doesn't mean you're not going to find something that really works for you. That's number 1. Number 2, live within your means. If you can afford a down payment of 5, 10, or 20%, and I say not 15, because you're going to have to pay PMI, private mortgage insurance, if it's under 20%. So 10% is fine. That 5%, save that for your closing costs or for things you have to do. But I don't want to get too detailed here. If you really want to do it and you figure out a way that you can buy a house, single family houses, because condominiums are not the best investment for building wealth. If you want to live in a condo for 5 years and then buy a house and you can do it, that's great. But if you are really serious about building wealth and you have 10, 15, 20 years to buy and sell property, then I would say get in this market now. If you can afford $100,000 down on a $500,000 house, we can find one in the Boston area, yes. It may need some work and it may be tricky, but I totally believe we can do it. So by living within your means, that means you set up a budget that you can live with and stick with it. No brand new cars, no crazy vacations. Just figure for the next 4 or 5 years. You have your whole life. For the next 4 or 5 years, you're not gonna go to Tahiti or a world trip or anything probably in the $5,000 range. It's not a big price to pay because you'll reap the benefit. Number 3, your first house is not your perfect house. You will eventually reap the benefits. So what if the kitchen is ugly? What if the bathroom's ugly? As long as the layout of the house is good and the land around it you can work with, you can do amazing things. Bad layouts you cannot fix. If you were my client, I would talk you out of a house with a bad layout, meaning the kitchen's great, but you can't eat in it. And then you walk in the next room and you're in the living room and there's no dining room and there's no place for a dining room table. Don't even go there unless you're willing to rebuild the whole house. So more about your training house. Slow and steady wins the race. Say you get into the house and after the first year, you have been able to put a little money aside and you price kitchens. I recommend, if you have never tiled, you do not tile your first kitchen or bathroom. The next buyer will see. They will be sitting on the toilet and they can see how uneven your work was, and it's very disappointing to a buyer. Maybe they can walk in and just go, ew, someone was practicing. You don't want to do that. It's better to start doing your renovations so they're beautiful. And believe me, your real estate agent is one of the best resources for good contractors. So that means if you want to do, say, a new bathroom, so you're going to price out things like IKEA, which has like a 10-year warranty on some of their items. You're going to price IKEA, you're going to price Home Depot, you're going to price FW Web. You're going to pick nice things, but on the low end. And in Home Depot, go on the high end. But I don't recommend Home Depot for vanities. You walk in and they look like Home Depot. You want it to look better. And sometimes that's just shopping around, even online. Get your items, get a contractor, get a contract, know what you're going to pay and the timeline. And in that first year, you can do your bathroom and enjoy it for the next 4 years before you do the next. Number 4, if you live now, if you're renting in the city of Boston, do not expect to buy your first starter home in the city of Boston. It just, if you absolutely want to live in the city and you also want to invest, you have to pick. Unless you're going in on this with someone else and you can afford it. But if you really want to get in, say you're 25 to 35, you want to get in this market, do everything you can to get in this market. Meaning you're going to commute into Boston. Pick a place where you can hop on the train, like Quincy, buy a single family house, and then still shoot into Boston in 20 minutes and enjoy the things you love about Boston. But no, it's going to be some sacrifices. But 10 years from now, you could be in a better house. You could have a couple of $100,000 in equity that if you just keep paying rent in Boston, it's not going to happen for you. And the longer you wait, the harder it is. Number 5, equity. It's all about equity. If you really want to buy a house because you want to build your wealth, then you need to really understand how equity works and study the numbers. For instance, I bought a condo in 2015. Well, it was the market from the crash in 2008 was just starting to come back, I would say in 14 and 15. But it just happened to be December and raining and depressing and not much on the market. And I fell upon this condominium. It went on the market in October, nobody bought. So 2 days before Christmas, I made an offer. These are when you're going to find the little jewels. I probably have almost $200,000 in equity right now, and it's all about timing as well. So you can't wait for the next slow market, but there are many ways. That's why understand that your real estate agent is a gold mine of real estate information. Not if they just got their license 6 months ago, but if they've been doing this for a while, you can have a lot of long talks about investing, what it costs, what are your options. They will turn you on to loan mortgage brokers that have even more ideas, like, okay, I can get a loan and buy the house, but the bank is also willing to give me $50,000 construction loan so I can get that new kitchen and the bathroom and attach it to my mortgage, and I can live there for 5 years in a beautiful place, and then I can sell it for a profit. So there are many ways to skin a cat. Do not read all those drama queens. It's, oh, the sky is falling and the market's crazy and out of control. It is, but you know, when I give my client advice like, okay, you're probably going to write 3 offers before you get one accepted. And that's only because you don't know the market. And whatever I say, you're not going to believe until you prove it for yourself. So the first offer you're going to write and you don't get it. And there were 3 offers and you were in the top 3. But why didn't you get it? Because you weren't willing to go 7,000 more. And you were being conservative. The second time, you're going to lose for another reason. The third time, you're going to be pissed. You're going to take every little bit that you can afford, and you're going to make that offer. And I'm going to tell you, okay, now you have a chance, and there's a really good chance you're going to get it. If you want to just cut to the chase, I can give you all kinds of ideas. But in the meantime, thanks for watching Boston and the Burbs. I am a straight shooter. You'll always get the truth. Have a great day.